Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of our clean eating challenge group. Today we're going to talk about carbohydrates and proteins. So when it comes to clean eating, you want to think about what's going to give your body the most energy it needs so it can function to its max. So, don't mind me, I'm going to refer to some notes. Let's try this again. Hi everyone, I hope day 1 went well for everyone. Hi everyone, here's our clean eating tip for day 2 of our Spring Clean Your Feast. Today we're talking about carbs and carbohydrates. So when it comes to carbs, when I was growing up, I had this misconception. I was sometimes thinking I was fat, and I had this misconception of my body, and we should talk about that at some point. We'll talk about that later during this week. But I had this misconception that carbs were bad. And so I would sometimes cut back on carbs. And you have these diets every now and then that you hear of or people try where it has you cut out carbs. I'm here to tell you something different. Don't cut out the carbs. And here's why. Carbs are so crucial and essential for your body's health. And here's some of the things it does. It gives you energy. If you completely cut out carbs, you will have less energy. And who really wants that? I mean, you got a lot of things to do. Some of you have kids and some of you have jobs, some of you have both. So let's be honest, we all need our energy. So, super important to eat carbs. Let's see, what else does it do for you? It gives you energy. Okay. Dang it. Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of our Spring Clean Eating Challenge. Today we're talking about carbs and proteins. So when I was growing up, I had this misconception about carbs because you hear these things like on television and those ads about different diets, and they talk about cutting out carbs. Don't cut out your carbs. And here's why. Carbs give you energy. You need energy. You have kids, you have a job. Some of us have both. Well, I don't have kids, but a lot of you have kids. So keep in mind that if you want to have energy, you gotta eat your carbs. What carbs also do for you is that they help you with your blood sugar. It's important to be mindful of your blood sugar. You don't want your blood sugar to go too high, but you also don't want to go too low. You want it to be level. So, one of the best ways to do that is to pair your carbs with proteins. So eating proteins with every meal is with a carb is going to do something incredibly important for your body. So proteins just by themselves, they do something really important for you. They help you with they build muscle, and they help you with your hair, and they help you with your skin. So if you want healthy skin and hair, eat your proteins. It also helps you with your blood sugar. Now when you combine your carb and your protein, what that does is it keeps your blood sugar and your energy, it keeps both of those two things level. If you're just eating carbs, your energy is going to spike and go up, and then it's going to crash. If you're just eating proteins, you may not be getting the energy that you need. And basically what's going to happen is let me rewind. If you're combining your protein and your carb, they're going to work together, and your protein is going to help your carb to sustain itself, and it's going to last longer. So you're not going to have those spikes. Something that I've noticed when I'm eating proteins as well, is that I feel satiated longer. I'm not going from being really hungry and eating lots of carbs or like things like chips or whatever, and then feeling okay for a little bit, and then being absolutely ravaging hungry again in the next 40 minutes. When I'm combining a protein and a carb, I can do those 2 to 3 hours before my next small meal. So, my tip for you today is to start combining a carb and a complex carbohydrate in every small meal. So those 5 to 6 meals that you have, combining them. So for example, at night, if I'm like getting a point where I know my body is telling me that I'm hungry, I will go and find some kind of protein. Find a protein and some kind of complex carbohydrate that I can combine. It will help me just to feel better, and it releases that energy and levels my blood sugar, and my body is just going to function to its best. Now, here's what's going to happen when you're really doing that. Here are some of the really awesome benefits of combining your carb and your complex carbohydrate and your protein. So it's going to help you build muscle faster. So especially if you're doing a consistent workout, you're going to build muscle faster, and it's going to you're going to burn more calories, not only when you're active, but when you're resting as well. So if losing weight is a goal for you, when you're making an effort to combine those two things with every small meal, you're going to, over the course of the day, you're going to be burning more calories, which means you will lose more weight. Also, it just means that it's gonna speed up your metabolism, because that protein is helping your carbohydrates to release that energy more slowly. It means your metabolism is continuing to move. So, there's our tip for today. Think as you're going through your meals this week, as you're focusing on your meals today, as you're getting points where you're realizing, oh, I'm hungry, it's not necessarily in my meal plan, what am I going to eat? Combine a complex carbohydrate with the protein. I'm going to post a couple pictures of little infograms that will talk about different kinds of proteins and different kinds of carbohydrates, because not all carbohydrates are created equal. If you're going to be eating bread all day, not as good as eating fruits and vegetables, which fruits and vegetables have carbohydrates. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables. So much better for you than eating bread all day. I'm not saying don't eat bread ever. Bread is also good and important for our bodies, but consider your options. Pick the better choice. I believe that's all. If you got questions, let me know.